The 2024 Olympics are coming this summer in Paris, and to be honest, that is when most people even recognize that track and field is still a sport. But in reality, pro track and field is actually a thing, sorta kinda. I only say it like that because the same athletes who happen to be some of the best in the world, in America, also find themselves competing at college level meets in order to support their craft. Because the word professional is all relative. It's why the University of Florida hosted the Tom Jones Invitational for the best college track teams in Division I, alongside Olympic development athletes like reigning world champion Noah Lyles, and Grant Holloway, and Tamari Davis. Are you starting to see a theme here? I could keep naming names like Abby Steiner, Nia Ali, and even Lolo Jones, but I'ma stop because you should get the point now. And I was able to watch all of those athletes live and sit in the front row on the finish line without even paying $1 for admission. As an actual sport right now, track and field is somewhere in between boxing and the UFC. It's incredibly hard to make any money in the sport unless you are the best of the best. And promotion for those events is almost always about the matchups. And apparently, Olympian and world champion Gabby Thomas has had enough of it because she is partnering with a company, 776, in order to launch her own professional track meet. Before I actually get into any of the details, the only thing that really matters is that the sport is in such dire need of help that an athlete had to take it upon themselves to solicit funding from a separate source in order to put on their own event, just to make sure that the best athletes actually get paid. Remember, I said the sport was somewhere in between boxing and the UFC, because just imagine if Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm had to self-promote their own fights and seek out a venue and figure out how to distribute television rights for it. The truth without any Photoshop is that pro track and field in America is pretty trash. The question isn't whether or not it's bad right now. The concern is why does it look like this? And does it have to look like this? Because it doesn't look like this anywhere else in the world. It's also one of the reasons why FlowTrack, which costs $30 a month, buying the rights to stream the Diamond League events, was not something track fans are very happy about. Nothing against FlowTrack, but let's have the real conversation. Nobody really wants to watch the Diamond League that badly. I mean $30 a month badly. The discussion that we're having is not whether people want to watch track and field. We know that people actually do. The problem is, how do we sell them that product in a package they can actually appreciate? For that reason, I have to commend Gabby Thomas for even trying, and perhaps her success can be a much needed step forward for the entire sport to learn from. And trust me, we need all the help we can get. But if you're new here, I have to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best high school track and field recruits in the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comments section because I try to read them all. We don't yet have all of the details about the event that Gabby is putting together, but the ones that we do have are incredibly important. First, we know that this meet will be exclusively for women athletes, and it is also going to be exclusively featuring the events that happen on the track. No shade at all to anyone who competes in the field events. Remember, I'm just the messenger, but the most important detail is that the prize money for this meet has already been set, and the values are way higher than what we see on the Diamond League. If you win an event, the payout is slated to be $60,000, and the Diamond League is only $10,000. Beyond that, second place is at $25,000, and third is at $10,000. What we need to focus on is the fact that Gabby and 776 made sure that the prize money was already a part of the rhetoric. They put that information out before we even had a venue yet. And the next question is whether or not this is a sign of something bigger to come. Because former Olympic gold medalist Michael Johnson is already putting together his version of a future track and field league. His goal is to put the emphasis on the stars of the sport. Keep in mind, the Diamond League is really not an American thing at all. It just happens to have American athletes a part of it, because America has some of the best track and field athletes in the world. So how could you not? So for anything we would actually consider to be professional track and field in America, These are all positive steps forward, but the problem that track and field has to face is which direction are we actually going to go if this sport is going to advance. The way I see it, you really got two models. One model will look a whole lot more like the PGA Tour in golf. That was not a joke. We can actually learn something from them. And the other model will look a whole lot more like the NFL, or at the very least the UFL, because that's a whole lot more achievable. If you choose to go the golf route, you're going to have to build around the athletes themselves. That means you're going to need some very big paydays at the end, and you're also going to need a whole lot of stops along the way for athletes to build themselves up. Even if you are not the best yet, you need a path in order to get there. As a professional golfer, you first have to earn your way onto the PGA Tour, and then you have to make the cut in major professional events, and then actually try to win. The best case scenario is that athletes like Noah Lyles, Sha'Carri Richardson, and even Gabby Thomas herself would look something like Tiger Woods used to look when he was in his prime. Granted, maybe not paid on exactly the same scale. But there is a drawback. The only way that model works is that you actually need star power. And the moment that you don't have a star for people to lock eyes on, you basically lose everything. If you choose to build around a team structure, it's definitely going to be way harder in the beginning because we already have stars, but we don't already have teams. But the eventual payout in the long run is way more valuable because think about it for a moment. The Dallas Cowboys are a brand that people now actually care about. They can sell a whole bunch of hats with that logo regardless of whoever their starting quarterback is at the moment. We know that team track and field is a thing. We do it at the high school and college level. If you've ever watched the SEC championship meet, that is a true team competition. In fact, it's actually why people like the Penn Relays so much, or at least what's left of it, because relays actually are team track and field in its purest form. Gabby Thomas is about as smart as they come. She's actually a Harvard graduate, and an Olympian, in addition to studying epidemiology, because she is going to make a difference in the world long after track and field is done. So when she says that the sport is in such bad shape that she would rather take matters into her own hands, who are we to argue with her? Pro track and field in America is broken, and we're definitely going to need all the help we can get in order to fix it. But just remember, you cannot fix a problem if you don't first admit that you have one to begin with. SCA track and field gear is here. Fast is a lifestyle, and what you wear should reflect that. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop, or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.